I want to thank the members for supporting the motion, Mr. Speaker. I think it's worthwhile. I think the fire service, it shows all members of the fire service must have heard how the government thinks about them. Again, we want to thank them again. And what's important is the loan is at 0.75%, which is a moderate interest rate, Mr. Speaker. And the health and security levy will be used to pay that loan. I will not tell you it's in the black box, but I will tell you a lockbox, neither black box or lockbox, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, we've heard so many times about a lockbox. Not one person can tell me where is that lockbox. I've been Minister of Finance from July 2021, Mr. Speaker, and I've asked every official in the Ministry of Finance, please show me the lockbox. Where is the fuel levy increased by 150 introduced by the former Minister of Finance? Where is that lockbox where that money is? And no one can tell me, Mr. Speaker. The health and security levy will go into the consolidated fund for use by the government of St. Lucia in health and security. And that is the challenge, Mr. Speaker, because this talk, Mr. Speaker, we have been very quiet. We have allowed all sorts of things to be said, all sorts of misinformation, all sorts of what do you call it? What does this have? What do you call it? Town hall meetings, Mr. Speaker. Well, things that are outrageous, and we've stayed quiet and we stayed focused. We are going to remain focused, but we no longer are going to remain quiet. Because if you repeat a lie long enough, people are going to listen to the lie. That was the key to Gorbachev. To Goebbels. The Goebbels, the Nazi propaganda minister, Goebbels, Mr. Speaker. He said that if you repeat a lie long enough, Mr. Speaker, people will believe that lie. So the lie was we put a health and security levy on charcoal. That was and they continued with that. They continued, but they are the ones who put a tax on charcoal. They are the ones which we rejected, Mr. Speaker. But they continue. You put a tax on charcoal, Mr. Speaker. So these lies are becoming more persistent and more consistent. And we took the position that we are going to remain focused and forget it. But right now, Mr. Speaker, I'm putting the barons of misinformation on notice that we are going to be responding to these lies. We are going to be responding to this misinformation because the people of St. Lucia deserve better, Mr. Speaker. And this is why we are improving the conditions with the fire service, because the people deserve better. This is why we are improving the conditions with the police service, because the people deserve better, Mr. Speaker. This is why we paid the teachers, all of them, temporary employment, $600 increase in the materials allowance, because the people deserve better. And this is why we said in government, in opposition, that if you were in government, we would have paid the people who suffer from COVID $1,500 each. And in November this year, we are going to pay nearly 5,000 of these people $1,500 each, Mr. Speaker. And I want them to replay the tape. Replay it. Replay the tape. When you accuse people, and you accuse people unjustly, the good Lord has a way of making it come back, Mr. Speaker. And my friends in theology will tell me, it's a quote, Mr. Speaker, about lies and misinformation, Mr. Speaker. I never said that we would pay everybody $1,500. I never said so. And my colleague from the Central Cash, split the tape. I said, if you were in government, and the point, Mr. Speaker, that money was never government's money. That was NIC money that they borrowed. The government had no surpluses. St. Lucia had no surpluses during COVID. The government was already near bankrupt in 2019, near COVID. There were no surpluses. Talk about managing the economy. The government of Grenada had surpluses. The government of Dominica had surpluses. The government of St. Vincent had surpluses. The government of Barbados had surpluses on the primary account. St. Lucia government was in deficit because of mismanagement of the economy. So they could not pay anything during COVID. They borrowed nearly $300 million during COVID. And they went to the NIC for nearly $40 million, which this government is considering paying back the people of St. Lucia for the NIC money. We had to come to this parliament and let's get a history down, because there's been a lot of talk and nonsense about managing the economy, managing, Mr. Speaker. And we are going now to put it on the record. Put it on the record, Mr. Speaker. There was no money in the government's coffers to do anything for COVID. They had to borrow almost every cent. And when they were borrowing, I said, if you were in government, the $500 was not enough. We would give $1,500. And we came into office, went to the Caribbean Development Bank, spoke to them, and we are saying, because of what they left us, we are going to be giving nearly 5,000 people $1,500 each for COVID response. So, Mr. Speaker, we are going now to give the true story of how the United Workers' Party left this country. Because we've kept quiet about it. We've been very quiet. We've listened to them all the town hall meetings, all sorts of nonsense. I create the weather. I make it very hot. You think somebody can say that, Mr. Speaker? You think somebody can go on a platform and say the Consolidated Fund has a Section 3? Mr. Speaker, this is the Public Finance Management Act. Look at. I didn't bring it here, it's in my other briefcase. The Public Finance Management, I'll bring this up for Mr. Speaker. The Public Finance Management, there is nothing in the Public Finance Management Act that says anything about Part 3. But the leader of the opposition can go in loud, can go to the public of St. Lucia and say there's a Part 3 in the Public Finance Management Act. To justify what he knew he shouldn't have done, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, so from now on, we are putting them on notice. We are now going to be rebut the lies. We are now going to rebut the misinformation from all circles, Mr. Speaker, everywhere. And our story, Mr. Speaker, I understand that they intend to come differently. Mr. Speaker, you cannot come differently when history is against you. You cannot come differently when your words will be used against you. You cannot come differently when how you've treated the people of St. Lucia. When you said that the patrimony is the credit card. You can't come differently. So we're waiting for a different approach, Mr. Speaker. We're ready. Mr. Speaker, they have always underestimated this government. But right now, Mr. Speaker, you see, we wanted to stabilize the economy. We want to stabilize the economy. And next week, I'm going to be making a statement on the level of St. Lucia's creditworthiness as has been analyzed by an international, by a regional institution. I'm going to make that statement in the House. So we will hear who managed the economy better. And we're also going to have the 6-month review of the economy. Never happened before. We're going to do it now, Mr. Speaker. Because right now, Mr. Speaker, we believe that we are at the point where we can take time to rebut the lies and misinformation. We stabilize the economy. We're in the process of stabilizing, Mr. Speaker. Last week, the government accounts, Mr. Speaker, I wouldn't even tell you. We are stabilizing the economy. Right now, we are having discussions with public servants, Mr. Speaker. And I hope these discussions happen swiftly and fairly, because this government has shown its commitment to the public services of St. Lucia. We paid the civil servants their back pay. Even pensioners, Mr. Speaker, pensioners, Mr. Speaker, we are going, November, we are going to give pensioners their one-off monthly payment, one-off annual payment, Mr. Speaker, and we promise them that there's going to be a review in the pensions for the pensioners of this country, the government pensioners. The NIC pensioners were given a 4% increase, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, you know, sometimes I say to my colleagues, let us compare the first 2 years of United Workers' Party rule between 2016 and 2018, before COVID. Let us compare it, and let us compare between 2021 and 2023 of St. Lucia Labour Party rule. Let us compare it, Mr. Speaker, and let us see who has done more for this country. Let us see who has managed this economy better. Who has brought more investment in this country, Mr. Speaker? Let us see, factually. But, Mr. Speaker, this time will come, and I'm putting on notice, Mr. Speaker, that the government will not allow these lies and that misinformation to continue. We are going to be responding. We are going to respond, Mr. Speaker, in a truthful manner, Mr. Speaker, because as we continue to build St. Jude Hospital, more will come out. You see St. Jude Hospital, Mr. Speaker? I will invite you, Mr. Speaker, because right now I see a light. You see St. Jude? I've seen a light, Mr. Speaker. St. Jude is progressing in a way that lightens my heart. Many things worry me, Mr. Speaker, but you see St. Jude, when this glorious day will come, when we, in our numbers, will march to St. Jude, to march to St. Jude, Mr. Speaker, not to demonstrate, but to open St. Jude for the people of St. Lucia. That day, Mr. Speaker, that day is coming soon. That day is coming soon, Mr. Speaker. You know, and whether they like it or not, whether they demonstrate or not, whether they lie or not, we are going to preserve the box for future use, and we are going to open St. Jude Hospital for the people of St. Lucia and maintain it with the health and security levy. I thank you, Mr. Speaker.